Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap and review, I'm having an adult beverage, and tonight I'll be discussing Rival's Pledge by Maddison Cole. I did receive this as an ARC from Smuthood, and of course I'm giving my honest opinion. Here are the highlights, and the content warnings and an author's note. And my rating for this book is a 3.5. Now remember, reading is subjective and not every book is for a reader, and this just may not have been the book for me, but if it sounds like something you're interested in, I strongly encourage you to give it a try for yourself, and I hope you love it. Now, what's this book about? So this book is about Meg, who has returned back to Hollybrook Academy trying to reclaim her life after surviving her kidnapping, even though her kidnapper is still at large because she is done letting him control her. And while she knew returning back to campus would be hard, especially after everyone she knew abandoned her, she never expected to be thrust into the spotlight with cruel whispers and taunts following her. But the worst thing about being back on campus is finding out that the girls' lacrosse team that she captained into being champions has been hijacked by her rival, the boys' lacrosse team captain, Everest, whose losing team is now being merged into the girls' team, and just like before, he is running it into the ground. And as much as she would like to fade into the background, that is just not who she is, and she's not about to let him ruin everything that she built. The problem is that she is so sleep deprived due to all the nightmares as well as the all-night wall-shaking music the asshole next door is playing, she can't form an effective offense against him. Thankfully, she has a good friend who is a cyber hacker who watches her every move and provides her support all so she can focus on getting back to normal and healing herself, even as she deals with Golden Boy Everest and all of his control issues. But even though she is surviving, that does not mean she is healed or even safe, especially with her kidnapper still at large. But with all these men circling her, she's starting to wonder who is there to lift her up and who is there to drag her down. So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this a 3.5. Now, I want to say this is not a bad book. It just wasn't the book for me, as I was not able to get fully invested into the story or the characters. I can't pinpoint an exact reason why, so I very much think it's a me issue and the author style was just not for my taste. Now, there were things I liked and things I didn't like. The first thing that I really liked is I think the author did a great job setting you up for success as the reader. Yes, it is strongly recommended that you read the other series, and I knew going in it was a spin-off, but I didn't realize how much of a recommendation it was that you read the previous series. I have not read that series, but the author did a great job with a prologue that I think is a scene from the other book that gives you all the necessary information, in my opinion, to understand the characters in this book and give you their motivations and just really understand things to where I did not feel like I was dropped in the middle of the story. I felt like I was getting the full context. Now, having read those series, probably I could have understood things on a deeper level, but that would just added more context, and I don't think it took away necessarily from the story to lead to why it wasn't the book for me. Now, when it comes to our characters, we first have Meg, our female main character, who I like. This is a girl who's just trying to get her life back together after her world was shattered, and quite honestly, everyone in her life sucks, even the trained therapist. Other than her art teacher who supported her and gave her this place to express herself and validate her feelings, as well as Thiago, her cyber hacker friend, who is very much a green flag, who gave her a soft place to land and support. I really liked him. Now, this is a wide choose, so there's two other characters. First is Reed, who embodies the dark, mysterious, tortured artist, who, for me, was too much on the sidelines in this book for me to have any real investment or feelings into him. Next is Everest, who I have all the feelings for. I did not like him simply because he is very much someone who has control issues, and for him, if someone goes left when he wanted them to go right, it is a personal affront and attack on him, and he acts accordingly to that. And there were just some instances that really reinforced my dislike of him. One being is he victim blamed Meg for her own kidnapping. He said if she was more aware of her surroundings, she would not have put herself in that situation. I'm sorry. I don't care how aware of your surroundings you are. If a man shows up with a pew-pew and you cannot get away safely, your kidnapping and then subsequent beatings are not your fault. So I didn't appreciate him victim blaming. The other thing is, small spoiler, the kidnapper is still at large and had kidnapped another girl. And he comes to Meg saying, I know where your kidnapper is. You need to reclaim your power and confront him. She says no because she's reasonable. She doesn't want to confront this man. She wants to take the information and give it to the cops. And they're like, no, the cops are going to take too long. You need to go because you know what this girl is going through. You need to rescue her. Why don't you want to rescue her? So they manipulate her into going and confronting her kidnapper because that's what a good person does. And all they did was take a traumatized girl and re-traumatize her, and I didn't like that. Overall, while this book has the hallmarks of everything I love in a book, this just was not the book for me. Even with the reveal at the end that I will admit is really good, it is not enough, I think, to continue the series. Now, if you would like to give this book a try, and I strongly encourage you to do so if it sounds interesting to you, it will be available July 16th. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.